Hello, my name is Samar. I also go by Sam or First Time Panner. Any of those you want to call me, you can. This will be a video that I'm both equal parts excited for and dreading because, as you can see from the title, I will be recreating as much as possible the makeup that I used to do back when I was a teenager, before I knew how to do my makeup. And also, this technically goes farther into, like, this is not just me as a teenager, because I didn't even start doing any sort of makeup until like my senior year of high school. I was doing this well into my 20s. Probably I didn't start getting into makeup until I was like 24, I think. So yeah, until my mid-20s I was looking like this every time I wanted to look my best. This was like literally the best I had to offer, and I honestly would have been better off barefaced. But anyway, we all make mistakes, we all learn and grow, and at the time I thought I was hot shit. So you know what? I guess, you know, confidence is key. It was all about how I was feeling in the moment, but right now this is not how I would feel my best. So please, this is like, I'm being vulnerable with you all here today, so please don't judge me. You're gonna see some things that may be shocking. Trust me, they're not as shocking as they would be back then, because I could not replicate exactly everything that I used to do back then because I was really terrible. Basically, okay, backstory. Before I actually learned how to do makeup, I learned how to do makeup by just watching my mother apply her makeup. She was my age 30 years ago. Back in, you know, like the 90s, she learned how to do her makeup in the 80s, where more was more. And then in the 90s, when everything was just like pack on as much powder onto your face as possible. And she kind of stuck with it. So that's what I was watching her do as a young child, and while I was trying to become a young lady. She's also extremely bad at shade matching. She always buys stuff that's like 2 shades too dark, and then she's like, yeah, this is my perfect shade. And since we're literally the exact same skin tone, I was using her makeup whenever I would do makeup, because I didn't really own any. So all of the complexion products, when I say all, it's 2. The complexion products I'll be using in this video, I bought to match me as I would today, because I want to be able to, I bought these products just for this video, and I didn't want to buy them just to never wear them again. And then also there's a few things I didn't want to buy because I have way too many of them in my collection already, but I'll mention that as I go through the video. Now I kind of just want to start so I can actually get to the point instead of rambling. But basically, I would always start, because I did not do eyeshadow, I would always start with my complexion products. So I'm going to start with the Hourglass Vanish Seamless Finish Foundation Stick. This one is in the shade 8, which I think is called Sand. It does not say on this box, which is kind of weird. Yeah, it just says 8. I'm pretty sure this is Sand. Anyway, I'll put it on the screen. I'm already struggling. This is what my mom used to use, which is why I used it. And then when I first started getting into makeup, I would still use this because this was all I knew. I should never have even touched this. But this is also, I'll show you, I'll swatch it on my hand because I also have not used this yet. I just tried to shade match myself as best as I could. This is what it looks like. I tried to get something light, medium, and yellow tone that would match me during my like winter shade, or at least not be too dark. Okay, so the shades look darker on your skin than what they do in like the online pictures. So I'm just gonna real quick swatch this on my face. I used to use the shade, if I'm remembering correctly, it was either Honey or Golden Honey. This is just with one swipe, this is already a full coverage foundation. So it's not like you can just sheer it out and kind of make it work for you. No. And I was putting this on in layers. There is no way this ever matched me, even at my deepest. Also, if you can hear like ruffling, that's my cat snoozing on my bed, or I guess they're waking up now. Yeah, so I'm just gonna continue to put this on my face. I don't really know. I feel like also this foundation does oxidize if I'm remembering correctly. So I don't really know how this is gonna work, but I would basically like paint my entire face full coverage with this, as you're about to see. Here we go. Also, if I'm looking down, that's because my mirror is down here. And it's much easier to do this in a mirror and not my camera, which is my phone. Yeah, this is all just muscle memory. This is what I would do. Also, this was so expensive. I had absolutely no business using an Hourglass foundation stick. I got a Sephora gift card, even though I was not into makeup at the time. I got a Sephora gift card in like 2020, which is my origin. Oh my god, I look absolutely crazy like this, which is like my origin story of how I got into makeup in the first place. I got a Sephora gift card and it was like $100. It was for Christmas or something, and I really spent half of it buying this foundation stick and it didn't even match me. I absolutely look terrifying. Please don't screenshot this. Like, this is clown level. Anyway, this is what I would do to myself. And then I no longer have it because I actually don't even think I ever owned it. I think I was just using my mom's. But I would take the like full coverage blending, I don't know how you'd be able to blend with that, but the full coverage brush from Hourglass as well. And the closest thing I have to it, I actually bought this because I thought it was a cheaper alternative. I need to blend this in because it's scaring me. But I bought this one, the Sephora 70 brush from their Pro collection, because I wanted to mimic the Hourglass brush. So I'm going to blend in this super thick layer of this full coverage foundation with the densest brush you've ever seen in your life. This is absolutely not going to blend anything at all. This is crazy. And I'm like not going in with any sort of primer. This is just dry. But because I had this is absolutely insane. I can't believe I ever did. Oh my god, I look so crazy. I can't believe I was doing this to myself. I don't even know if this is an okay shade match for me. I'm genuinely so sad right now. What did I just do to myself? Because this is not going to be fixable. And I would make sure to really, really tug at my under eyes because I have such bad dark circles. Oh my god, this is like, I knew this was gonna be bad, but I think I forgot just how full coverage this thing was. This is so incredibly bad. This is really, oh my god. Oh my god. I'm actually in shock right now. Like, this looks really, really terrible. I put way too much. Now I'm just gonna like, I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, I think this shade is like clearly too light for me right now. I haven't completely lost my tan yet, so I'm sure once this is crazy. This is actually crazy. I hate myself. I don't even know if you're seeing this. It must have been a miracle because I do not want to post this now. Blend into the neck. I definitely was not taking it down the neck back then. Get it on my eyebrows just so I can really cover every bit of my face. Okay, so now that that is done, I'm going to take what I used to set this. I used to, oh yeah, that's what I was saying. I used to have oily skin, so I didn't want to use any type of primer because I don't know what was going in my head. Clearly, I didn't have any like coherent thoughts going on in my head. Also, I think Rosie just found something to play with. This looks disgusting. Like, blending that did not even help one bit. But because I was a very, very, very oily girl in high school, I was very glow averse. I did not want any speck of shine on my face. So even though this is, I mean, with how much I have on, it is catching the light a bit, but typically this dries down to not really be a glowy foundation. But that was not enough for me. I would take the MAC Studio Fix. This is the Studio Fix Powder Plus Foundation, which is also a full coverage foundation. It's not a setting powder, and it's not even just a regular face powder. This is the fullest coverage powder foundation I have ever used, and I would use this to set an already thick layer of full coverage foundation on my face. So this one is in the shade NC35. The last one of these that I owned, the only one that I ever bought for myself previously, was in the shade NC42. Even though I am very warm yellow undertones, I would always get the NC shades because that's what my mom would always get. But these actually oxidize a lot, not only on your face as the day goes on, but in the pan they oxidize as you use them over time. So, and they just get like darker and warmer through the month. So like owning NC, like neutral cool powders, actually work for me. So yeah, this is the NC35 shade, which I haven't used this, so these really are like first impressions after 5+ years of me not using these. But this is what this looks like. I fear this will not be helping the situation on my, as if like it would help at all, but like I don't think this is really gonna do anything to make this foundation situation any better. Alas, we move on. When I first started using this, back before I was using this powder foundation, I would use the sponge it came with and just like really scrub in there. The sponge feels different, but I would really scrub into the pan and just like slide it onto my face because that's how my mom did it. But then once I started using it to like set this mess on my face, I would want lighter coverage, so I would use a powder puff. So the one I'm using is this Morphe like dual-sided powder puff. I'm using the fuzzy side, I don't really know, but I'm really gonna get in there and just set my face, I guess. And I'd always start with my under eyes because I don't know, I just like hated the shine there extra. Make sure to get every tiny bit of my face. This is so sad. It was actually really sad. Like, I'm seeing all the texture on my face and I am remembering that it was this exact texture back then. Oh my god, this is really, really horrible, guys. This is so embarrassing. I was thinking possibly if I could finesse something in post-production, I might be able to still go out with this on, but no. I'm definitely going to wash my face off immediately after this. Of course, can't forget my double chin. Okay, so now that that's set, you would think that I would move on, but no, I truly despised any sort of shine on my face. So I'm gonna go in with a second layer because I would always go in with 2 layers of this powder foundation to remove any sort of light reflection on my face possible. I wanted my face to basically be like the Vanta Black version of my face where it absorbs no light. Shine is not allowed to live on my face whatsoever. So we're gonna go back in again, starting with the eyes. This is just really disgusting. I'm disgusted with myself and with all the people who let me walk out like this because this is not okay at all. And to think, like, NC42 is the last shade I bought because I thought that was a better shade match for me. That was even lighter than the shade I used to use because my mom, I'm telling you, would buy shades way too dark and I would be using her makeup. So like, just think this makeup but worse because it's 2 shades darker. Okay, just inspecting. Oh, I see a little bit of shine on my inner corner. That is not allowed to live. Okay, just gonna get my T-zone even more because, sorry, I like tried to trim my eyebrows as much as possible before this video, so I keep finding little hairs all over my face. But just gonna get rid of some of that sign of life on my face. Alrighty, so this still doesn't look good, but I mean, this is just what I did, so I have to stay true to that. Now that my face has no dimension at all, time to add some back with some bronzer and contour. Just kidding, I didn't use that. I didn't use anything else on my face. I didn't use bronzer, contour, blush, highlight, absolutely nothing else. Sometimes as I like got older, my mom would like track me down and make me put on blush, but I was not using anything other than exactly what you see on my face right now. And then also because I have, like I said, I had to try to wrangle my brows right before this video. I have very bushy, unruly, thick, uncontrollable Arab eyebrows, and I was very, very self-conscious about them growing up because, you know, it was just not the look back then. I grew up in the 2000s when you had to have basically non-existent brows. So I just didn't want any attention on my brows. So I would not fill them in, use brow gel, anything. I didn't do anything to my brows. I left them as is. Did not use setting spray because why would I? Why would I ever do that? Add glow to my face, set this powder to make it look not as dry and cakey and disgusting. No, why would I do that? So we're just going to go straight into the eyeliner and mascara because again, I did not wear eyeshadow ever. And every single day from when I was in, again, my senior year of high school until actually pretty much every single day until now. This past year, I didn't use it as much, but I would always use the Urban Decay eyeliner in the shade Perversion every single day. And I would use like a tremendous amount. I don't currently have that in my collection, but I'm just gonna use this black eyeliner. It's still a really good black eyeliner. This is from Tarte. It's like 1/2 of the Quick Stick, but this is just a regular black eyeliner. I only ever used the blackest of black shades of everything I could find on my eyes. I'm just gonna line, I always do like my upper and lower lash line, waterline, I don't really know. And I would like really make sure to get a thick layer of eyeliner. Just gonna do the top part, and yeah, I would do that every single day. So I'm just gonna do the other eye. Then back in high school, I don't know why, I would always like line my eyes and then use black mascara with like the blackest of black I could find, but I would do liquid liner, and for some reason I just didn't think it had to match because my mom gave me, she would just give me her old makeup. It was kind of crazy now that I think about it, because this would be like extremely old makeup that she was letting me put on my face, but she gave me, I think it was like some drugstore, but it was a liquid brush tip, like I don't even know, you know, like the e.l.f. one where you like unscrew it and it's like literally liquid on a brush, but it wasn't even a fine tip brush. It was just like a liquid brush tip eyeliner applicator, and it was in a brown shade, not even like black brown, but just brown. And I would use that to give myself a wing on both eyes. I currently do not have that. In fact, I will never ever use that again. When I started college, I started buying my own makeup, so I would buy felt tip black eyeliner and I would use that every day. Thank God, because I did not want to have to do that again. But yeah, I'm gonna give myself a wing. I used to do those like super curvy like eyeliner that kind of goes up in a curl, the basic 2010 eyeliner. That's what I was doing. I'm gonna try to recreate that as best as I can, but no promises because I haven't done that in like 5+ years. I'm already bad enough at doing my eyeliner, but I will kind of like take it up like that, and then I'm already messing up, oh my god. And then I would stop at like the 2/3 mark of my eye. I kind of just messed it up and made it too thick, but yeah, more or less that's kind of what I did. Not really, but kind of. I'm gonna try to recreate it on this eye. Okay, I don't think I really took my eyeliner wings out this far every day, but I was clearly struggling to get like a fine tip at the end, like a sharp point. Then I would use the most iconic mascara in the world, Maybelline Great Lash. Listen, I was a broke college student. Like, I had $5 to my name. Not even, actually. One time, like, my debit card bounced on a $5 burrito because I like literally didn't even have $5 to my name. I had absolutely no money. I was supporting myself. I was helping to support my mother on my college refund. So I had no money. I was buying the Maybelline Great Lash mascara every 3 months on clearance. I couldn't even afford to buy it full price. I would find it when it was on clearance. And I would just use that every day. And I had absolutely no problem with it, you know, because that's all I ever knew. I was not buying myself the Urban Decay eyeliner. I would get one for my birthday in the middle of the year, one for Christmas at the end of the year, and I would make it last somehow throughout the rest of the year. If I needed more, I would buy that dollar Wet n Wild kohl pencil that I would just kill my eyes with, because it like is not meant to be for your waterline at all, and it would hurt so much. But anyway, back to the mascara. I don't have that in my collection right now, and I did not want to buy it because I literally just opened this mascara like 2 weeks ago, and I also have like another brown mascara open, so I didn't want to have 3 mascaras open at the same time, and I also have plenty of black eyeliners, like little minis that I got as freebies just waiting to be used. They're like a year old now, so I didn't want to add another one to my collection. But this is the Lancome Lash Idole. Basically, I'm sorry to say this, it pretty much gives the exact same effect as Great Lash. Like, it kind of just defines my lashes, and it does add a bit of length, but I need like 2 full layers of it to do. Sorry, my lips look crazy right now because of that foundation, but I need like 2 full layers or coats to be able to even do that, and it kind of just does a bunch of almost nothing for me. So it's basically Maybelline Great Lash. If you love this mascara, save yourself probably $20 and go to the drugstore and pick that one up on clearance. But yeah, I'm gonna apply this off camera because my mascara face is very ugly, but I'm only gonna do 1 coat because I only ever did 1 coat of mascara back then. Even though, I mean, like, absolutely nothing about my face is balanced, this mascara is not gonna balance out this eyeliner I just did, but it never did back then either. Alrighty, there we go. Mascara's on, if you can even tell. The last thing to do is the lips, and this is where I would really shine. Like, lips was my favorite part of every makeup look. Once I started using blush, I started loving blush too, but I did not use blush 10 years ago. As you can see, I barely used anything on my face. So lips was where I really got excited for my makeup. And for some reason, I have no idea why. For some reason, I basically only ever owned the vampiest of vampy lipstick shades you can think of, including a dark navy blue, or I had like the most basic neutral nude shades you can think of. Literally the first lipstick I ever owned, or like ever bought for myself, was Milani Teddy Bear. So yeah, I currently do not own Milani Teddy Bear. I've gone through a bunch of those tubes. I currently don't own it because it was living in a purse that my cat peed on, so I had to get rid of it. And I haven't repurchased it yet, but I will. But I do have MAC Whirl. This is my 3rd tube of this. I've also gone through so much of this. I've been using this for 10 years straight. I absolutely love it, but again, it's like a super, I'm gonna try not to draw this on top of my foundation, but it's like, on me, it looks like a super basic nude shade, which I love. But then I also have, I'm not into super vampy lips anymore. I do like them, but I don't own nearly as many as I did back then. Like, I only owned like 10 lipsticks anyway, but that was like 50% of what I owned. Now I pretty much only, like, the vampiest thing I own in my collection would be this one from LYS. It's the shade Chocolate Cherry. It's like a holiday shade. It's something. This is what it looks like. I don't know which one I should use. I do want to wipe this lip balm off of my lips though, because it just looks, it looks really crazy. I'm gonna have to like blend that foundation around my lip line. You know what? Because I want you to see the depths to which I would really humiliate myself and just do things that did not look good together, I will use Chocolate Cherry from LYS. So yeah, I'm not gonna line my lips or anything. I'm just gonna go in with it. And I'm gonna make sure to really get every single spot on my lip so that there's no breaking continuity of just like the darkest thing you've ever seen. This lipstick is so dark it's actually throwing off my white balance. I'm gonna have to fix that when I edit this video, but this thing is truly just shocking. And this was like, I would wear this on a random Tuesday to class when I was in college. But when I was in high school, I was literally just wearing like Milani teddy bear every day. But when I went to college and I had the freedom to choose my own lipstick, I would wear this. So yeah, this is what I'd look like when I truly thought I was looking my best. And I only ever wore dainty jewelry. I like didn't, despite my makeup, I didn't want to be noticed and I didn't want to do anything bold, even though I'm wearing like the darkest lipstick in history. But yeah, I didn't like want to be bold and noticed, so I would just wear like studs every day. But this is what I looked like when I was trying to look glamorous. I feel very ashamed right now. Like it's such a bad shade match, and this is like me doing the best I could for 2025. It used to be way worse than this. Yeah, so there's truly no saving this. I'm just gonna have to wash my face, but what do you think? No bronzer, no blush, no brows. I look like a crusty, dusty mess with jaundice. But I am going to try to make, where is it? I'm gonna try to make these products work for me. Like I know I can if I just use them properly and not how I used them today and back then. But yeah, like it'll be interesting to see how I end up making these work for me today and actually liking the way my makeup looks in 2025 using these products, because these like definitely I'm gonna have to relearn how to use these. But it is kind of fun, like not this, but it is kind of fun to have these products back in my collection just for like the nostalgia of it. I think this is honestly a pretty good shade match for me. Definitely better than what I was using before, and the packaging is refillable now, so I might just, if I end up liking the way this looks and making it work for me for every day, I might just continue to buy this because I really like the refillable packaging aspect of it. But anyway, that is it. I'm gonna go wash this off. I hate it. Especially, you know what is throwing me off the most out of everything? My brows, surprisingly. But let me know what you used to do before if you did your makeup before you like learned how to do makeup. Let me know what you used to do, or like, I remember Dream Matte Mousse was a thing. I wasn't using it, but yeah, I've heard some horror stories for makeup. Let me know what your makeup horror story is, or if you just like, if it's not a horror story, but you just look back and laugh the way I hopefully will be laughing while editing this, if I actually do upload this. Let me know what you kind of just like giggle about from back then. So yeah, I will see you in my next video. My makeup will hopefully be much better. Thank you so much for watching this absolute mess. I will see you later. Bye.